Hello and welcome to Chapter 9, Lesson 8. Today we're working on solving two-step word problems. This is all directly from your book, so please open up to this page in your book. You can pause now if you need time to flip, and let's get started. So sometimes in order to solve a problem, you need to do more than one step or use more than one operation. And we've talked about before, like the first thing, we always do parentheses, means do it first. If there's no parentheses, then we've added in multiplication and division from left to right, and then our third step would be addition and subtraction from left to right. Notice how those are on the same level. Multiplication does not always come before division. It is just always working from left to right. So today we're going to be working on solving two-step problems using the order of operations. So that's this right here, this guy right here. It says parentheses, do it first, multiplication, division, then addition and subtraction. Both of those are from left to right, just like how we are reading. So let's get started. Gustavo bought some tools at the hardware store. He bought 5 tools for $6 each and 1 tool for $7. How much did he spend altogether on tools? So our job is to write an equation, which means it has to have an equal sign, with a letter for the unknown. Unknown is another word for a variable. Then we need to solve it. So I think about how many tools I bought. I bought 5, and each tool cost $6. So if I multiply the 5 tools by $6 each, I can figure out how much money did I spend on those those 5 tools. And then I'm going to add to it $7 because that was the cost for 1 tool. So I have 5 tools for $6 each and 1 tool for $7. How much did he spend altogether? Okay, so if I do 5 times 6 plus 7, I know, and then it's going to equal my unknown because that's what I don't know. I know that I'm going to do my multiplication first because that comes before addition. 5 times 6 is $30. And then bring down my $7. So 30 plus 7 equals $37. So y, in this case, my unknown, is $37. So 5 times $6 plus $7 equals $37. The unknown is $37. Gustavo spent $37. It's kind of a lot of repetition there, but okay, so we're going to check. We're going to use mental math in our head, to check for reasonableness. Gustavo had $37. He spent $7. Okay, so 37 minus 7 is 30. And we know that $30 divided by 5 tools is $6 for each tool. So the answer is reasonable. Check. Let's read our helpful hint. When there are no parentheses, we are going to multiply and divide first in order from left to right. Then add and subtract in order from left to right. So what that means is if I have 30 divided by 6 times 2. Dividing and multiplying, I have to work from left to right, so that means I'm going to do 30 divided by 6 first and get 5. Then I'm going to multiply by 2 to get 10. If I had done 6 times 2 first, I'd be dividing 30 by 12, and that 12 does not go into 30 nicely. So that'd be a nice little hint that maybe you did something wrong. So let's do some more problems. Orlan had 48 comic books. He keeps 8 for himself and divides the rest equally among his friends. If each friend gets 8 comic books, to how many friends did he give comic books? Okay, so first we need to start with how many did he start with? He has 48. And then we know he's going to keep 8 for himself. So I have to subtract the 8 that he's going to keep for himself. Okay, and then I'm going to divide whatever's left over from doing this by his amount of friends. Okay, and I know that that's going to give each one 8 comic books. So my answer is actually 8, and my M is the number of friends who are going to get books. We don't know how many friends. Okay, so first I need to do 48 minus 8, so I better make sure I have parentheses around here, because otherwise I would do division before subtraction. So 48 minus 8 is 40, divided by, bring down the m, is going to equal 8. So I can think 8 times what number equals 40? So 8 times box, let's say, equals 40. Well, I know that 8 times 5 equals 40, but if you don't know that, you sure can go 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighths. Okay, so I know that the unknown is 5. He gave 5 friends some books. Okay, so Orlon gave 5 of his friends comic books. Check estimation to check your answer for reasonableness. Okay, use estimation, sorry. So 48 minus 8. Oh, so I could say 48 is almost 50, and 8 is almost 10. So if I do 50 minus 10, I'd get 40. And then if I took that 40 and I divided by 8, well, actually, I'd change 8 to, yeah, I'm not super a fan of this kind of deal. But 40 divided by 10 is 4, so is 4 close to 5? Yes, it is. You could use estimation, or really you could say, okay, I know that if I have 40 and I divide it by 5, I know I'm going to get 8, right? So let's go to another problem. Write an equation with a letter for the unknown, then solve. Okay, so we have to first write an equation, then we have to solve, and third part, check for reasonableness. Whew. This one's a doozy. Lots of steps for this one. Okay, so we know a city bus had 14 passengers. At a stop, 5 people got off and 8 people got on. How many people are on the bus now? So there were 14. 5 got off and 8 got on. How many people are on the bus now? So here, well, we need to write an equation, so I better get my equal sign, and I'm going to put y. Okay, that's going to tell how many people are on now. So if I solve, we have subtraction and addition, so I need to work from left to right, just like how we read. So I'm going to do 14 minus 5 is 9, plus 8 equals y, bring everything down. And 9 plus 8 will get me to 17. So now there are 17 people on the bus. So I'm going to write 17 people. Okay, 17 people on the bus. Now, is this reasonable? Well, let's work backwards. So if there are 17 people on the bus now, the 8 people got off, I'm down to 9, and 5 people were already on, I'd add 5 and I'd be at 14, which is where I started. So I kind of thought backwards there. So yes, it is reasonable. It is reasonable. Okay. And 2, we know less people got off, more people got on, so our number should be bigger than 14, and it is. Okay. Grandmother picked 4 times as many apples as pears. So if I multiply pears by 4, it's going to equal apples. Okay, what is the difference in the number of apples and pears picked if she picked 8 pears? Okay, so like I said before, we know that apples is the bigger number, so I know if I take 4 times pears, it's going to get me a bigger number. So I am going to do 4 times p equals apples. This is my kind of original equation that we talked about over here. Then I know that there's 8 pears, so if I do 4 times 8, it's going to equal A for apples. So that means there are 32 apples. Okay, so that's not the end question, though. It wants to know what's the difference in the number of apples and pears picked. So that means I'm going to have to do the second step here, whereas if I take 32 minus 8 is going to give me the difference. Okay, so if I take 32 minus 8, I know that the difference is 24 apples. Let's do more apples. I have 24 more apples than pears. So in my thought process, we are supposed to put this into one kind of two-step equation, and I did two. So I first solved for how many apples do we have, and then I found the difference. Probably the way that we should have done that is we should have done 4 times 8 minus 8. So I'm taking 4 times the number of pears, and then I'm subtracting pears, and that's going to equal the difference. So if I do this here, I would get 32 minus 8, and then I could get 24 equals D equals D. And D just stands for the difference. So this would be the better way to do it. Yes, do this one. Okay, next one. Okay, so this one's just kind of working through our order of operations. So if I have 48 divided by 6 plus m is equal to 11. First I'm going to do my division, 48 divided by 6. And I know that 6 times 8 is 48, so that means that 48 divided by 6 is 8. Plus m equals 11. So I'm saying, what do I have to add to 8 to make it equal 11? And so I know that m is going to equal 3. Okay, m equals 3. Now I could check for reasonableness. 48 divided by 6 is 8, plus 3, yep, checks out. Okay, let's do the next one. 37 minus 9 equals h times 4. Okay, so first, only thing I really can do here is 37 minus 9. So if I do that, I would get 28 equals h times 4. So we're saying 4 times what is going to give me 28. And I know that 4 times 7 gives me 28. So h is equal to 7. So I can check. H times 4 is 28. And 37 minus 9 is also 28. Let's double check. 37 minus 9. 17 minus 9 is 8. 2 minus 0 is 2. 28. Yep. Okie dokie. So I know that h is equal to 7. 2 more here we gotta solve. So I have 20 plus 20 equals 4 times what? 20 plus 20 is 40. 4 times what equals 40? Well, 4 times 10. W is equal to 10. Okay, let's check. 4 times 10 is 40. Does 40 equal to 20 plus 20? 40? Yep, checks out. All right, and over here, I'm going to do 4 plus 2, and I know I have to do it first because I see those parentheses. Okay, 4 plus 2 is 6 times r equals 54. So here we're saying 6 times what is going to give us 54. So I know that 6 times 9, r is going to be 9, is going to give me 54. Oops, sorry, r equals 9. I was going to write the whole thing, r equals 9, but just have to write 9. Okay, let's double check. So 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 times 9 is 54. Checks out. All right, that's all I have for you today. Make sure you contact me or your parents if you have any questions. And thanks for watching.